Hello and welcome again to Vidan Meds. I hope you've had a good time. I hope you've been enjoying our summaries of books, or what we call synopsis of different books that I have read, and I've always felt that it is good for me to share with you so that we can have this knowledge together. So in today's synopsis or summary, or you can call it an episode, I want us to go over a book by Rordan Peterson, and the book that we are going to summarize is his book, which is titled 12 Rules for Life. So I want us to go over that book by Rordan Peterson. So this summary that I'm about to give you is the most detailed that you'll ever find in the internet, and we'll come to appreciate this as we go on. So this book particularly will appeal to those who, number one, are seeking personal growth and development. This is because the book's practical advice and insights on personal responsibility, courage, truth, and other factors resonate with individuals who are seeking to improve their lives and overcome challenges. This book will also appeal to, number two, those people who struggle with anxiety, depression, and self-doubt, because in the book, Peterson emphasizes on self-acceptance, discipline, and meaningful pursuits, which offers a roadmap for navigating difficult emotions and building self-esteem. Number three, this book will also appeal to those who are interested in psychology and human behavior, because Peterson draws expertise as a clinical psychologist, providing a deeper understanding of human motivations, relationships, and the complexities of the human mind. Now, this book will also appeal to those who are seeking a balance between order and chaos, because, of course, in a world that we live in is a world that is often feels chaotic and unpredictable. But Peterson emphasizes on structure, discipline, and purpose, which provides a framework for finding stability and meaning in life. Lastly, this book will also appeal to those who value traditional wisdom and psychological or philosophical insights, because the book interweaves ancient wisdom, mythological references, and scientific research, offering a unique blend of perspectives on the human experience. Additionally, this summary that I'm about to give you will help you, or can be of great help to you, if you want to decide whether you should commit your resources, that is maybe your money or maybe your time, to buying or reading this book, or even stocking it in your home library. Or maybe you will want to maybe gift somebody during their birthday, or whichever way that you will want to have this book. So this summary can also be a great help to you, to help you decide if it is a great book that you should commit your resources to. But before we dive in, let's look at the first things first. What are we expecting in this summary that I'm about to give you? I'll give you the overview of the book. I'll give you the genre, publication, and the writing style of the book. I'll give you some of the key ideas which are presented in the book. I'll also try to summarize some main sections in the book. I'll give you the key takeaways and conclusions that we can take from the book. I'll also give you about a bit of the biography of Rordan Peterson and some interesting facts about him. Now, Rordan Peterson is the author of this book. I'll also give you some comparison of this book to other books which are on the same subject. I'll also try to expound more on the target audience and intended readership of this book. I'll also go ahead to maybe tell you or give you an overview of how the book was received, the critical response, and so on, the critiques, both the positives and the negatives. I'll also try to give you some personal thoughts and opinions of this book that I have after reading it. Then I'll also give you a list of some other recommendations of similar books that you can also read after reading this one. I'll try to summarize this book in one big main takeaway and try to expound on it. I'll also give you several ways on how you can apply the lessons that you will learn or you have learned or you will learn from this book after reading it, the lessons and the knowledge that you've gotten on how you can apply it in real life. And I'll also try to give you a guide on how you can read the book effectively, so that when you remember, in most cases when you start a book, we might not even finish the book, we might get tired, we might lose the synergy and the energy along the way. I'll try to give you some tips or a guide on how you can read the book effectively. At the end of it all, I'll also give you a link. It is an affiliate link that you can use. If you want to buy the book, it's upon you. You don't have to buy the book. The summary is enough. But for example, if you want to gift someone a hard copy, you want to stock it in your home library, you want to bless your family with a hard copy of this book, I'll have a link below the description of this summary. And it's an affiliate link that will take you directly to Amazon. You will not pay more by using the link. It is just an affiliate link and will help us, will be helping us to keep these resources coming on free and in a better way. So without further ado, let's go directly to the book overview of Jordan Peterson. Remember, the book that we are talking about is The 12 Rules for Life, an Antidote to Chaos. Now, this book is a self-help book that presents 12 principles for living a fulfilling life. Each chapter discusses a different rule, and Peterson provides insight into why these rules are important and why they can help individuals like you lead a more meaningful life. Now, the main themes we are presented in this book by Jordan include personal responsibility, the importance of finding meaning, the dangers of postmodernism and nihilism, and the value of tradition and religion. We shall look more into that as we go on. Now, Peterson argues that individuals must take responsibility for their own lives, and that by doing so, they can help or they can get to find their purpose and their happiness in this life. He also cautions against the dangers of postmodernism and nihilism, which he believes have led to a lack of direction and purpose in modern society. So that is simply a brief overview of the book and maybe what we expect. Let's now go ahead to genre, publication, and writing style of The 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson. When we talk of genre, we talk of the category in which we can place this book in. So remember, it's a literature, it's a writing, and there are many genres, many categories that you can place books. This book, we cannot place this book in a romantic book category simply. So that's that. When you say genre, I hope you understand what we mean. So The 12 Rules for Life is a self-help book. So we can place it into self-help book category by Jordan Peterson, and we've said he is a Canadian clinical psychologist, and it was published in 2018 by Random House in Canada. Now, the book is a combination of self-help advice, personal anecdotes, and philosophical insights. Peterson draws on a wide range of sources, including psychology, philosophy, and mythology to support his arguments. The book is written in conversational and engaging style, whereby Peterson uses humor and storytelling to illustrate his points. He also writes in a very direct and honest way, which some readers may find refreshing and others may find off-putting. Well, it is upon you to maybe critique on that. Let's go ahead now to the key ideas presented in the book. I have several of them. I have around 5 ideas which are present. You can call them the themes, and simply call them the themes presented in the book. So there are many, but I've just sampled a few, 5 of them that we can go over very fast. So number 1 is taking responsibility for your own life, whereby here Peterson argues that the first step to living a meaningful life is to take responsibility for your own thoughts, actions, and choices. And what does this mean? This means you must refuse to blame others for your problems and instead focus on what you can do to improve your situation. So your life, the life that you dream, the life that you desire is 100% your responsibility, and you should never ever blame or expect somebody else to create that life for you. It is your 100% responsibility. Now, number 2, another idea that is presented is finding a purpose in life, whereby now here Peterson believes that everyone needs a sense of purpose in life in order to be happy and fulfilled. There is no way that your life will be fulfilled or happy if you will not have found your purpose. Your life will be frustrated. You'll be frustrated for the rest of your life. You will die feeling that you've not done as you are expected to. So this purpose can be anything from raising a family to pursuing a career that you are passionate about. So your purpose lies in things that you are passionate about. And your purpose is not something that is made for you. It is something that is made for the benefit of humanity. So if you want to know that what you are doing is a purpose, is the right purpose, check if it only benefits you or it benefits others, it benefits humanity. A true purpose is one that is of benefit to humanity. For example, a mango tree was really created for the purpose of, we can say, of producing mangoes, the mango fruits. But you can see the mango tree does not feed on those mangoes. It is for us, the human beings, for the vitamins that we need, for the nutrients, etc. So the mango exists to serve its purpose of producing, one of the purposes of producing fruits, the mango fruits, for us, not for itself. I hope you understand that. Number 3, another key idea that is presented is honesty in yourself, whereby Peterson argues that it is essential to be honest with yourself about your strengths, your weaknesses, and desires. And this self-awareness is necessary for making good choices in living a life that is true to yourself. Number 4, another key idea that is presented is the importance of being kind to others, whereby Peterson believes that kindness is essential to living a good life. He argues that we should treat others with the same respect and compassion that we would like to be treated with ourselves. Number 5, the last idea that I want us to go over is order and chaos, is another theme or idea that Peterson presents in this book, whereby he argues that the world is a place of both order and chaos, and that humans need to find a balance between the two in order to live meaningful lives. Too much order can lead to rigidity and stagnation, while too much chaos can lead to anxiety and suffering. So Peterson's 12 rules are designed to help you find this balance. So those are 5 main key ideas or themes that are presented in this book. And now let's go now to the main sections, or simply some summary of the chapter titles and main sections in the book. So we can divide the book into, now we say that it's divided into chapters, and each chapter delves into one of the rules that Peterson presents. Now, rule number 1 it's called the stand up straight with your shoulders back. In this chapter, Peterson argues that a good posture is a sign of confidence and that it can improve your mood and overall well-being. So that is, we can say that is chapter 1, and the chapter is titled Stand Up Straight with Your Shoulders Back. And that is one of the rules of life, rules for life, for success in life that Peterson presents. Chapter 2, which is, we can say it's rule number 2, is treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping. I repeat, treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping. In this rule, Peterson believes that we should treat ourselves with the same compassion and respect that we would treat a friend or a loved one. Rule number 3, or chapter 3, talks of make friends with people who want the best of you or for you. Make friends with people who want the best for you. Peterson here argues that we should surround ourselves with positive people who support our goals and aspirations. Rule number 4, or chapter number 4, talks of compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. I repeat, compare yourself to who you were yesterday and not to who someone else is today. Simply, you do not have to compare yourself with another person. Always have a comparison between you today and you yesterday. I hope you get that. So Peterson here believes that we should focus on our personal growth and development rather than comparing ourselves with or to others. I think that is straight home. Number 5, or chapter 5, rule number 5, says, do not let your children do anything that makes you dislike them. Do not let your children do anything that makes you dislike them. Here, Peterson argues that we should set clear expectations for our children and discipline them when necessary. So rule number 6, chapter 6, set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world. Set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world. Peterson believes that we should focus on improving our own lives before we try to change the world. Rule number 7, pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient. Pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient. Peterson argues that we should find and pursue goals that are meaningful to us, even if they are not easy or convenient. Rule number 8, tell the truth, or at least do not lie. Tell the truth, or at least do not lie. Peterson believes that honesty is essential for building and maintaining trust. Rule number 9, assume that the person you are listening to might know something you don't. Assume that the person you are listening to might know something you don't know. Here, Peterson argues that we should be open to new ideas and perspectives, even if they challenge our own beliefs. Rule number 10, be precise in your speech. Be precise in your speech. Peterson here believes that we should be careful and thoughtful about our words, and that we should avoid making generalizations and oversimplifications. Rule number 11, do not bother children while they are skateboarding. Do not bother children while they are skateboarding. Peterson argues that we should allow children to take risks and learn from their mistakes. Allow your children to take risks and learn from their mistakes. Going to rule number 12, the last one, pet a cat when you encounter one on the street. Pet a cat when you encounter one on the street. Peterson believes that we should take the time to appreciate the simple things in life. So those are the 12 rules that Peterson presents in this book, in the 12 rules for life. Each rule is in a chapter, and very fast, let me go through those 12 rules once again for you. Rule number one, stand up straight with your shoulders back. Rule number 2, treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping. Rule number 3, make friends with people who want the best for you. Rule number 4, compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. Rule number 5, do not let your children do anything that makes you dislike them. Rule number 6, set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world. Rule number 7, pursue what is meaningful and not what is expedient. Rule number 8, tell the truth or at least don't lie. Rule number 9, assume that the person you are listening to might know something you don't. Rule number 10, be precise in your speech. And rule number 11, do not bother children while they are skateboarding. And lastly, rule number 12, pet a cat when you encounter one on the street. Right. So those are the 12 rules for life that will bring meaning, success, order, that bring balance and order in your life. Those are 12 rules that you can really apply them. And as I wind up this part one of this synopsis, I want us to go over through the key takeaways and conclusions that we can get from this book. Remember, this is part 1, and love part 2 that you'll have to listen, because in part 2 I'll give you specific examples that you can start implementing these rules that Peterson has given us in real life. What can you start implementing starting from today? I'll give you that in part 2 of this. So ensure that you check on part 2, because I'll give you tips, nuggets, and bonuses for you in this book. Now, let me go over through some key takeaways or conclusions that we can get from the book. Number 1, humans are naturally drawn to order and need to find a balance between order and chaos in order to live meaningful lives. So that is one of the takeaways, that humans are naturally drawn to order and they will always need to find a balance between order and chaos so that they can live meaningfully. Number 2, the takeaway, individuals are ultimately responsible for their own lives and they should take steps to improve themselves and the world around them. No one will ever come to change your life. It is you to take those steps. Number 3, humans are hardwired to seek out meaning in their lives and can achieve their potential. Number 4, we must take responsibility for our own lives and our own happiness. We've said that also. The next one, another takeaway, we should pursue what is meaningful to us, even if it is difficult or challenging. The other one, we should live in a virtuous way by being honest, truthful, and kind to others. The other one, we should find meaning and purpose in our lives by contributing to something larger than ourselves. The other one, living a good life requires a balance of order and chaos, and this balance can be achieved by taking responsibility for your own life, finding a purpose, and being honest with yourself and being kind to others. Then Peterson also emphasizes on the importance of being precise in your speech and actions. He argues that we should be careful about what we say and do, because our words and our actions have the power to create both good and evil in the world. Now, that is those are some of the takeaways that I got from the book, and I've shared them with you. So I know now you are getting to realizing yourself better, and you are getting some help from this synopsis. So very fast, let me go over some of the interesting facts about Jordan Peterson, and maybe something that you might need to know about him. He is the author of this book and others, and here is his biography and some interesting facts about him. So Jordan Peterson is a Canadian clinical psychologist, professor of psychology at the University of Toronto, and an author. He is known for his work on the psychology of religion, mythology, and personality. His book, 12 Rules for Life, An Antidote to Chaos, has become a bestseller, and he has a large following on social media. Peterson's work is controversial, but he is also a respected figure in the field of psychology. He is known for his insights in human nature and his practical advice on how to live a better life. His work has been praised by many for its insights into human nature and its practical advice on how to live a better life. However, some critics have accused Peterson of being overly simplistic and promoting harmful stereotypes. Now, Peterson's work is based on the idea that we need to take responsibility for our lives. He argues that we should not blame others for our problems and that we should focus on improving ourselves instead. Peterson also emphasizes on the importance of meaning in life. He believes that we need to find something that gives our lives meaning and that we should pursue it with all of our heart. Lastly, Peterson's work is a valuable resource for anyone who is looking to live a more meaningful and fulfilling life. His 12 rules for life are simple, but they are also profound. If you follow them, you will be well on your way to a better living. So that is the end of part 1 of this synopsis. In part 2, I'll give you some comparison of this book to other books. I'll also give you an overview of intended readership and target audience. I'll also give you recommendations of other books that you can read that have the same theme, that are similar to this book of Peterson. And I'll also give you a guide on how you can read this book from cover to cover. Remember, at times we have a lot of work to do, we have a lot of responsibilities here and there, and so getting that energy and synergy and that momentum to complete a book, it's a tall order, you know that. So I can give you some tips, some insights on how you can read the book and complete the book from cover to cover. I'll also give you some tips, strategies, and examples of ways in which we can apply, start implementing these rules of Peterson in our life, starting now, starting today in your life. So without further ado, I want to say thank you. Let's meet in part 2 of this synopsis. Bye bye.